We're here at NY Games Conference with Mike Vorhaus, and he just finished his fireside chat. And
Without the fire.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it looked very casual.
A side-by-side chat.
Yeah. So what did you guys talk about today?
Well, Frank wouldn't tell us anything about the next jet.
He's keeping his lips sealed.
But he knows.
Yeah, of course he knows. He made it pretty clear that he knows.
Because he has, like, I read the press that he's got, like, hundreds of people, thousands of people, like, making games for it. So he knows, but he wouldn't tell us.
Exactly.
That bums me out.
Yeah.
Who do you think's behind that?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be some kind of Illuminati thing. Once the new consoles come out, everyone meets one day and they all drink the wine, maybe blood or something. And
something.
And then you never hear about it.
They shoot the digital bits or something.
You gotta wait till E3.
Or it's like Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta wait till E3 and then you don't know. But
then everybody will know. That's the whole problem with the charade.
I want to know. But so you come from the consulting side, and you also have a history in some government stuff. So tell us a little bit how that crosses over for you in your headspace.
Well, they don't at all, to be honest. I mean, I used to work in politics, and I worked on the Hill. I mean, the biggest reason I got out of politics is people just wanted to get elected to office. That's kind of what you learn.
Yeah.
When you get to know these men and women, and some are better than others, they just want to get elected.
Yeah.
So everything's a compromise to get elected, and it just didn't seem like a great way to spend your time and effort. So I did some university fundraising for a while, and that was actually pretty good, but I couldn't make any money doing it. So I figured, maybe there's something in the technology, sales, investment world, and Frank Magid Associates have been around for years doing research for TV and video and cable and that sort of thing. So I came in with them in 1994, believe it or not, and built a gaming group and an internet group. And
in AOL days and
AOL and Excite.com was my second client. AOL was my first client. And Sony Station playing Wheel of Jeopardy online. And 10, which became Pogo, were all my early clients. 97, 98. And EA bought Pogo, and that got us more into the gaming world. So we started doing research around the game product. It's interesting in the gaming world because you've got in the console gaming world, because you kind of got Activision, which is very strong consumer product good kind of ethos, and they do a lot of research, and there's kind of fairly strong norms and standards that they use as to what's good scores or bad scores. And I don't work for them, so I don't really know much about how they do it exactly. This is what I've been told. Versus EA is more like this mix. There are guys like Frank that are really gamer guys. There are guys like John Riccatello, actually came from Sarah Lee and Wilson Sporting Goods, so he's a brand guy. And there are other guys there that are brand guys that have been from Disney and those types of companies. So what's really cool about that is you basically get the kind of brand rigor, but the love for the IP, and then you get the kind of creativity. And I would even go so far as to say playfulness of gamers. Frank's playful. He's a reserved guy, but he's playful. And there are other guys. Peter Moore is bombastic and playful. So it's kind of a nice. EA is a very nice large client to have because they're a lot of fun and they're not giving up. I remind everybody it's a lot easier to build a company from 0 to billion than it is to build a company from 3 billion to 4 billion when some of your old business is going away.
Exactly.
The car company is
hard to shift the gears.
And you don't want to lose the money from. You can't just go, I'm closing down my console company. I'm laying everybody off. I'm giving whatever money's left over to the shareholders. I'm going to open a new company over here that's going to be free to play. You can't do that. It's a transition over time.
And so what's the one piece of advice you want to give everybody that nobody's listening to right now?
On the business side of things and from my clients?
Or maybe they're all listening to you. What's the one piece of advice you want to give out?
In individual specific things you can later point to in your career as a consultant, I think if you get 5 or 10 in your life, you're lucky, and I'm probably somewhere in the middle of those two. I think the thing that these guys know, and that I think is essential, talking particularly about my larger clients, is DLC is going to be a lot of money. We're in the early stages of promoting that. We're in the early stages of pricing it. We haven't done any real merchandising, this DLC for that DLC and package it and so on and so forth. But this is going to be, I think, a game that sells $1 billion worth of discs could have $500 million in DLC.
50% you think it could be.
I really do. And I think over time, one day, possibly, a AAA console game, it will just be a platform. It'll be free, and everything you do with it will be paid and added on. But I think DLC, if you're a EA and Activision, Warner Brothers and Namco, a Ubisoft, on the publishing side, Xbox, Wii, and Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation, and Sony, you have got to be putting a lot of money into DLC because you're going to make a lot more money selling DLC than fighting your way into the Facebook world and selling farms and cows.
Yep.
Now they're
makes a
going
lot
to do
of
great
sense.
selling farms and cows.
Yeah. Let
so
them sell.
Zynga's got a different
exactly.
issue. You know, they're going to make more immersive games. They're going to have their Kicksai Kabam games. That's a whole different, whole different piece of advice for that world.
Yeah. Great. Well, that's really interesting. Thanks for stopping by. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming by for the interview, and I hope the rest of the conference is interesting for you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.